Okay. The sun is bad, but we're gonna deal, okay? We're just gonna have to deal. Because I'm not re-recording this. Oh gosh. It's not good. Okay. Hello. How are you doing? Okay. Anyway, welcome back to the Casey Glassworks YouTube channel. I hope you are having a fantastic day. Today I'm going to do a tutorial on how to create large stained glass patterns using the Cricut. So if you haven't seen my very first video, I teach you how to use Cricut to make your stained glass patterns, to stick onto your glass and grind and cut and all that hoopla. But for this one, I'm going to show you what you need to do if you have a large pattern that you want to make and you want to have the vinyl for that pattern. So for example, today I'm going to show you how I'm going to make a 12" by 16" pattern, and then also still get those pattern pieces cut out into vinyl, because obviously the Cricuts only are, I think it's like 11 inches wide as far as cutting space, but I have the Cricut Maker 3, so I can go as long as I want as far as like cutting. But if you have an earlier model, I think they're like 11 inches by 11 inches for cutting space. So you can definitely still use this method that I'm going to show you. You might just have to take a couple extra steps if you're doing more than one sheet, I guess you could say, sheet of vinyl. But yeah, it's not too complicated, but it is a couple extra steps. I wouldn't necessarily do this for every single one of your large patterns. I would definitely say that this is a good method to use if you need, you know, some complicated pattern pieces cut out on vinyl so that you have, you know, some more like if you have to do like more grinding, or if you're doing a lot more on the Taurus ring saw and you just want those extra pieces of, you know, the pattern pieces onto your glass. This is a good method for that. So yeah, I say let's just get into it, and you can decide how you want to use it. Alright. Okay, so now I am in Photoshop and I have my pattern ready as if I was going to be getting it cut out for Cricut. So this is the starting point that you want to be at, having all of your lines at the right measurements. Basically you just want to have your pattern ready to go as if you were going to cut it out onto your vinyl. So the next step that you want to do is go to image size, and you want to see what your resolution is. So I am at 200 pixels per inch, and then just hit OK. And then go to File, New, and right here, this is where you're going to make it 11 inches because obviously the Cricut can only handle 11 inches of cutting space. And then I'm just gonna say 30. That's probably way more than enough as far as length that I need, but just to play it safe, I'm going 30 inches. And again, I have the Cricut Maker 3, so I can make my pattern as long as I want. So just hit create, and then obviously double check that your pixels are the exact match to your Cricut pattern. So we had 200 pixels on our Cricut pattern, and we need it to be 200 pixels here on our new pattern. Basically it's just going to be a pattern layout. Okay, so the next thing that you want to do is go to your Cricut pattern, your original Cricut pattern, and you want to click on the magic wand over here on the left hand side, and you're going to click on any piece. So I'm just going to click on this corner piece right here, and you can see the marching ants are surrounding the whole thing. And just take a note down here that this piece right here is almost 8 inches wide and 4 inches high. So the next thing that you're going to do is go to your move tool and select that. Okay, so then the next thing is you're going to click down and drag, and you're going to drag it until you're hovering over your new you know, your new file or whatever, and you're going to click and drag and then basically drop it right onto the new file here. So you can just move it around if you want. Oh, hold on. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So to double check that everything is correct, you can just come down here to the width and height. So obviously we can see that 7.88 inches and then 4.08 inches, which is correct. So our pattern piece isn't growing, it's not shrinking, it's going to be the exact same from here to here, okay? So obviously you can move these around a little bit if you want, so that you're not wasting so much vinyl. So it's a little harder to do that, but there we go. Alright, so you're going to do that with every single piece. I'll just go through that one more time. So take your magic wand and click on the piece, and once we do this, I'll show you a way that you can keep track of which pieces you're copying and dragging. So let's go through that one more time. Okay. You have your magic wand, you're clicking on the piece that you're going to want to click and drag. Once you have that piece selected, you're coming up here to your move tool, clicking on that, and then you're going to click and drag that piece up into that new file and then drop it. And we're going to make sure that it's the exact same size as the one in our original Cricut pattern. So this is 4.49 inches wide and 5.18 inches high. And then whenever we come over here, we can see that they are the exact same. Okay, so there we go. And then a way that you can kind of keep track that you're actually like moving them all correctly, I just go down here and click on a different color and just hit Command Shift. Oh wait, switch it. Hit Command Shift. So we already did that one. Command Shift, we already did that one. So that we know, you know, we're not going to put any repeat pattern pieces on there. And we just do that for every single piece. So I'm just going to speed through this a little bit so that you can see what it's going to end up looking like whenever it goes through the Cricut. So I hope that wasn't confusing. Okay, let's do this. Okay, I'm just remembering there's another thing that you can do. Just take your magic wand tool and select a piece and then hit Shift and select another piece if you don't want to go through the hassle of selecting every single piece, and then taking that all the way to the top and dropping it so that you're not taking every single piece, because that's annoying. Okay, my camera overheated, so we're back. Now, I have all of my pieces on the new file. The one thing that I want to show you is how to flip pattern pieces if they don't fit. So I have this long piece right here that is 12 inches and I want to flip it. So I'm just going to go over here to this little angle hickey-madoo, and I'm just going to hit 90, and then I'm just gonna move everything around so that it fits nicely, just like this, so that everything has a spot. Okay, so that is all of our pattern pieces all cut out, or all copy and pasted basically, for our Cricut. So everything has been transferred over from the pattern. Hey everybody, so obviously you can tell that this is a completely different day, completely different time. I forgot a little part of the process for the Cricut, and I'm going to show you what that is right now. So over here in Photoshop, I have a completely different pattern, but it's obviously going to be the exact same process. The first thing that I want to mention is that you make sure your background is deleted. As you can see, I have gray and white squares right behind all of my black pattern pieces, which means that there's no background. So just make sure that your white background is completely deleted, and you can do that through all of your layers. And then the next thing that you want to do is create a new layer. So down here you can just hit the plus sign and make a new layer. And you want to come over to your line tool, and you can make your line a little thicker so you can actually see it. So what you're going to do, you are going to draw a line, because you're going to need that line to measure it in Cricut Design Space. So what I'm going to do is just click and drag, and I just kind of make sure it's right at 90 degrees. A little bit. Okay, so that's close enough, and then we're at 4.615. So I just let go of that, and then I just write down that number. So my line length was 4.615 inches, and I just circle that on a piece of paper because you're going to need that number for Cricut Design Space. Okay, so now that we have our line drawn, we're just going to go over here to this layer, and on the bottom right hand corner you're going to left click and hit merge down. Okay, so you only have one layer, and then we'll go up here, click save, and I'm just gonna save this on my computer. So this is, I'm just gonna call this Early Bird Cricut, and just save it on my desktop. Hit OK. Alright, so we have that saved, and I'm just going to minimize this and open up Cricut Design Space. Okay, so we hit new project, and then we're going to go over to upload, upload image, browse, and let's find our thing here. Okay, so I always hit complex, continue, apply and continue. And then this is just a cut image, upload, that, add to canvas. Okay everyone, so as you can see, the width and the height are incorrect. So what I do here is I just put 11 inches wide, and I just leave it at the 32.7, and then I go over to the shapes and click on the line tool, and it automatically has it at 2.5 inches, so I just drag it over, and then on the height I change it to the 4.615, and then I drag it over to that fat line and just lay it on top to see how far off it is.
And then just with like a little trial and error, I just get that as close as possible with changing the height. It ends up being like 31. And you can just keep putting that line over top just to see how close you end up getting, and you can get it basically right on the money. So just keep clicking on the image, and then change the height.
Yeah, so I hope that helped you. So basically all you would do now is, like your normal Cricut patterns, you would save this and then download it onto your Cricut design space and cut it out. And that's it. So if you have some ideas that are larger than a square foot and it doesn't fit on your Cricut, there you go. Before the sun just engulfs me, I'm gonna sign off. Thanks for watching. I hope this helps you. If it did, please hit subscribe. I would love to have you join. And then also leave a like if you like this video, if it helped you out. Comment if you have any questions or you want to see something else. Maybe I didn't go into detail on something. Obviously check out the channel. And then if you want to find me on Instagram, my username is @K_C_glassworks. You can find me there, and obviously if you want to follow me there, that would be cool too. Yeah, and then I have a website. It's kingdomcreativeglass.com. You can check me out there. And other than that, I'll see you in the next one, and thanks for watching. See you later.